Well, we can't wait to have you back. We miss you a bunch. And who do you think won the debate last night? Oh, I guess you can't answer. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and
4 scores and 7 years.
Have life, pursuit, liberty, happiness. That was
Alexander
rights.
Hamilton.
Ooh. What if somebody identifies as unequal?
What? Like what?
Like more than, or like just?
It might be
a negative number. I'm
I'm
so confused.
Hi, this is the Joystick Show.
Yeah.
Disregard all of that.
I don't like math. Usually we don't talk about math.
That's why Jerry doesn't start the podcast.
Yeah.
Fucking, he was about to start getting into imaginary numbers and all that
Yeah,
shit.
it's like less than or equal to over here.
Fuck it.
I'd rather not.
Shout out to the Joystick Show here with episode, you ready for it?
Yep.
199. Jeez, who'd have fucking thought, right? Not me. Not
Beautiful
me.
number.
We're here to talk to you guys for, an undisclosed amount of time. At the minimum, 30 minutes. At the maximum, an hour and 5. That's typically how it goes.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
And, we're just going to talk about stuff that we like to talk about. Pop culture.
Yes.
Pop
quiz.
Pop quiz. There you go. Soda pop.
Some trivia.
Just current events, things that have happened in our lives. It's a podcast. I don't know why I'm over explaining the thing you've seen 190.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, hey, if you haven't watched us or most podcasts before,
yeah. So, you hear audio and you see video, and that's what this is. And this is what we're talking about. It's been there. All right, cool. Lots of stuff that we could definitely dive deep into, like the Mariana Trench, bro.
Okay,
but I want to start with something that I think the entire nation watched last night.
Oh, yes.
Something that's fresh on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
I'm, of course, talking about the Mets' 12-2 win over the Yankees. Was that yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, that was the day before.
Oh, my bad.
The Mets had the luxury of having the off day before and the off day.
But then right after there was a presidential debate hosted by CNN.
Hosted by CM Punk.
Yeah. Real quick, it was very funny. Like, we all watched it. It was me, my parents, Mildred, and Mildred was like making a joke, like, we're gonna make popcorn for it, which we did. That was definitely something that happened. But when it started, right? Because like we were watching, it was on ABC, so we were watching Jeopardy and like Wheel of Fortune right before it. They have like a countdown clock that's going down to like when it starts, right? Mm-hmm. And then finally when it hits 0, there's like this whole like graphic that comes in, and Mildred is like, "Are we watching sports?" And it looks like a fucking sports graphic.
The production team was probably the same.
It's like you're watching like a game in the NBA Finals. It's crazy. And then there's like a whole hour-long pre-game, so to speak, where it doesn't happen yet. It's just they're prepping you up, right? They're talking about what the rules are gonna be like, what they're expected to talk about, blah blah blah. Then the debate starts, and there's this whole other graphic that they play. Mm-hmm. And at this part, I was like, this is the hypest shit that I've seen in a fucking long time. Like I just watched the NBA Finals, and this was way more entertaining than any of that shit was.
Yeah, fuck the Celtics.
I guarantee you that.
And then they touch gloves.
But yeah, fucking, we got to watch 2 old ass motherfuckers argue over who was older, I guess. Like,
no, I'm pretty sure it was about who's better at golf.
Yeah, that's like what it turned into.
Yeah, that was like the main thing I watched, because I missed a lot of that beginning shit. Like I didn't prep myself for this. I know that a lot of people were like watching with like their families and stuff. Yeah. I just kind of tuned in like 20 minutes late,
right,
30 minutes late, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Let's watch this shit.
I am speaking, and I truthfully mean this, I am an undecided voter. It's more so that I just come from like like most people in this country. I don't want either of these two people to fucking
of course.
It's not even an undecided thing. It's like I decided I don't want either of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I
feel like
stand.
A lot of us have, yeah.
That's where I stand right now. Not to make myself sound like a free thinker or shit. It's just I'm annoyed, right? So to give that sort of perspective on how this debate went, Donald Trump just didn't answer any question that was answered to him, or at least not immediately. I think out of all of the questions that were asked to him, he actually answered 2 of them. He would just immediately divert to wanting to talk about the topic that they just moved on from to like keep bashing Joe. And then in Joe's case, Joe was actually able to answer questions, but only for about the first 3 to 4 sentences.
Yeah.
And then after that, it got really bad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, right? There was a point at the beginning of the debate where like I'm sitting there and I'm getting ready for them to start and they're walking up to the podiums and I'm like, I've seen a lot of them in memes, right? Like you see the compilations and the highlights and stuff like that. But in my head, I was like, surely Joe Biden isn't this, like incoherent.
Yeah.
But getting to watch it live in that debate, it's like, oh my God. It's just like, what is happening right now?
Yes. It's not only a situation of people nitpicking things from these speeches. It's no, both of these guys were already president and vice president in some cases, and they've just there's hours of fucking highlights. Even for Trump, there's like he fucking and he's hysterical. That's the saddest part of all of this is that Trump is a really good timing guy. Like he's really funny. He's super meta. Like he wins every debate just from not doing the debate. It's like the craziest shit.
Yeah.
Like Kung Flu. Like you hate to say it, everyone laughed at that shit. It's fucked up.
He
but
had
everyone
one.
laughed.
He had one this debate. It wasn't my favorite, but he still threw one in there. His little creative zinger. He's like, with this guy in office, he started a massive migrant crisis. I call it a Biden migrant crisis. And I was like, damn, a Biden migrant crisis. It's got a little flavor, a little ring to it. It doesn't rhyme, but it's close.
Yeah, it sounds good somehow. Yeah,
it's got a little ring to it.
Yeah,
so
you can name my album.
Unfortunately, he's creative. You can't.
Yeah, he's got some zingers. You can't take that.
That's just
from
going
him,
on the fridge, bro. Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say one of my personal favorite moments of the debate was when the moderator asked Donald Trump if he would, just say it on camera that no matter win, lose, what happens in the election, that he will take the results as fair. And he just would refuse to answer.
Yeah, they re-asked it to him.
They asked it to him twice after. So 3 times in total. And then finally on the 3rd time, I think he said something to the degree of he was like, oh, of course, but only if it's a fair election. Yeah. Only if it's fair. And I was like, okay, I guess it took 3 tries, but we got it, right?
I was like, it's a yes or no question.
But yeah, like Dylan mentioned, at the end of it, it just turned into, at first it turned into like a golf competition where they were talking about their handicaps, which I thought was interesting that, the obvious question is whether or not Biden is physically or mentally fit to hold office for this next, tenure, but fucking...
Is he physically capable of doing 18 holes?
This is true. But what I found weirder about the debate is the question didn't get asked to Biden. The question got asked to Trump. They asked him, they said, by the end of your presidency, you'd be 82. What do you say to voters who argue that you would be physically unfit to, hold the office? And then he goes in and he's like, I've taken 2 cognitive tests, aced them. They said they've never seen anyone ace cognitive tests like that before. I did it. It was great. And, from there, that's when it stemmed into the whole, I doubt this guy could even play golf. I played 2 rounds. I won 2 championships, not even senior championships. They were regular. He was going off like that. And that's where they started talking about the golf. But then out of nowhere, they started, arguing height. He was like, he says he's Biden was the one that he was like, this guy, he's 5'11", 235 pounds. And then Trump is like, and you're 6'2", 2. I was like, what the fuck is happening? It's literally a dick measuring contest.
Yeah, they're the guy was literally can you stop talking like children?
Yeah,
like that.
They're being so childish. Oh man. But honestly speaking, if you ask me who won the debate, I hate to say it, it really is nobody. But I do have to point out the fact that at the very least, Joe actually answered questions that were given to him and had some sort of political insight. While also, granted, the end of those answers were fucking horrible.
Yeah, he's always trailed off.
Trump didn't answer anything. So, But at the same time, I'm not stupid. I told my family right then and there, he's tapping into that whole, 40, 50% of the United States who's watching that shit fuck yeah, the Biden migrant crisis. Yeah, and then he said that January 6th was Nancy Pelosi's fault, and that he said that she said it, so he has nothing to do with it. He was like, "You can ask her. It's Nancy Pelosi's fault." I was like, "That's bold."
He was like, "They were escorted in the building."
I was like, "That is fucking bold." Yeah. There's also a lot of miscommunications where there was one part that was funny was Joe was talking about U.S. soldiers that were killed in one of their, times in office. And he said something to the extent of 3 of our U.S. soldiers were killed, like that. And then when it was time for Trump's rebuttal, there's so many miscommunications. It got totally missed. And Trump thought that the 3 U.S. soldiers that were killed were the 3 like Iraqi terrorists that they killed. So Trump is like, actually, Joe, the 3 Iraqis that were killed were al-Baghdadi, which was one of the worst guys in the world. We killed him. And I'm like, that's not even who fucking Joe was talking about. He was talking about U.S. soldiers that were killed. It's like, but anyway, that happened like 6 times. That's why I'm bringing that up. Like in every different facet. It was crazy. It was nuts. But yeah, fucking.
Good show.
I'm excited.
A pleasurable shit show.
I will definitely say that. It was good entertainment. And then one last thing to say, I was doing some reading. Apparently, Joe and Trump were the only 2 members of both of their parties that were like they met the criteria to be able to be in the debate. Like there was like a pretty harsh kind of stuff they had to meet in terms of like percentages they had to be at and whatever. And apparently I read that both campaigns were like working really hard to make sure that this guy, the Kennedy who's running at the independent seat,
that he wasn't there
because apparently like his numbers, I don't think they were close, but they were rising. So they were like,
yeah, of course.
So I'm very interested to see when they have like the full debate, whether it's like the Democratic debate or the Republican. I just want to see them in more situations like that.
Yeah, game 2 is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be hype. They're gonna add some new players. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I told my parents, I was like, wouldn't it be hype if like, you know, like halfway through the debate they're like, gentlemen, we forgot to mention, but we'd like to introduce the third party, Mr. Bernie Sanders, and fucking you. I'm telling you. These 2 are fucking idiots, man.
But even then, this time it's actually Dr. Jill Stein.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And she's gonna come out there and just be like an angry librarian.
It's The Rock.
Yeah. It's The Rock, the Kennedy who hasn't been assassinated yet, and then Jill Stein. Yeah,
gotcha. But anyway, that's we haven't gotten that political in a while.
Yeah.
I think the last time we got, I'm not even joking. I think the last time we got that political was when Joe Biden got elected and we started this podcast 4 fucking years ago.
It's about time.
It is about time, yeah. We got to start with like the SNL political sketches. When Joey comes back, he's going to be dressed as like fucking Donald Trump. Get him a wig and a red tie. Joey's got a decent Trump impression too. So
can we do something weird though? Can we do like skater Trump or goth Trump? Goth Trump.
I've got the sickest Ollie.
We film it at his old house in Woodhaven, bro.
I learned how to kickflip in 1 hour.
That's easy money.
No one does it.
We literally film it with a black and white filter underneath the train.
Rodney Mullen learned every flat ground trick from me. I'm actually the one who invented them all. No joke, yeah. I hit the first 900. I did it. Yeah. Not Tony. It was me. I taught him. Now I'm just imagining fucking Donald Trump hitting the 900.
He's wearing his Trump sneakers.
His Trumpkers?
Yeah, the gold sneakers.
Do they have a name? They gotta have a name. The Trumps?
The Trumpies?
The Trumps?
The Trumps sound good. I'd wear them.
A bunch of people wore them to the thing yesterday, apparently.
The Trump pumps?
It was like a whole thing.
I'll wear them.
All right. Fucking anything anybody else got? I got stuff to talk about, but, you know, we can swing it off. I started with the debate, and, you know.
I'm swinging and missing over here.
You have nothing?
I'm swinging, and well, I do have a story. Shout outs to Citi Field, right? We love Citi Field, right?
Yes.
Right. All right. I should have filmed some stuff. I didn't film. But I would like to talk about my experience getting caught in 50-mile-an-hour winds and torrential downpour.
Yeah. Did you have the canopy over you guys?
Yeah. So how it works is we didn't. However, me and my girlfriend got food. So we go all the way up to like the top level to go to Keith's Grill.
Okay.
What's so
special about Keith's Grill?
So Keith's Grill was an old, like, timey, like when Citi Field first opened, it was like Shake Shack, or you could get like a more expensive burger at Keith's Grill, which was like a more like deluxe burger. You know, imagine like a diner burger or some shit like that. Like it's like big, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That went away for a few years, and then it came back but it's just like a tiny little fucking stall now. It's like nothing. Yeah. So we go there. We're like, oh, this shit better be open, because when we went out last week, it wasn't open. It's open. We go wait in line. We're next, and it's like, yeah, we're sold out of this burger that everyone's in this line for. And we're like, are you fucking serious?
Wow.
And my girlfriend's like, I'll wait here and get this shit because we've been waiting for it. You go get something else. So I went to go get like tendies or something like that.
Shout out to Marianati. It's
a homie move. But that is also the time where it starts downpouring rain. Yeah. So now I'm like getting fucking pelted with shit. Like napkins and forks are flying in my face, and I'm next in line to get the tendies, and I'm like, this is terrible timing that I'm next in line again. I go to run into like the bathroom because I'm like, I don't want to get hit with anything that's right next to here. And then Marianti's like, I walked to the section I was at. So now I walk around the bathroom to try to get out. Now everyone is blocking like 100 people blocking the exit to the bathroom. Now I'm getting accused of abandoning my girlfriend at this baseball game, and I'm just trying to get out of the fucking bathroom. So sure enough, I get out of the bathroom and I watched the game.
And for what we know, this is Dylan's interpretation of the story. Dylan couldn't get out of the bathroom.
Yes, correct.
Totally not like Dylan was just like chilling under a canopy talking to some old dude about baseball.
Yeah. I mean, look, that did happen for a minute. I will. And for that minute, my girlfriend got horribly pissed at me because she was like, "Where the fuck were you?" And I'm like, "It was a couple of minutes." And she's like, "Yeah, but fucking burger." Yeah. But Mets won. It was really fun. People get really, really rowdy at these games, but there's no fighting. Except for that one guy who got arrested on live TV.
Oh,
yeah. There's that picture.
Yeah, and someone got arrested at the game we were at last week, too. So I'm glad that the NYPD and the security at Citi Field are doing their job. Fucking let's go, Mets.
Yeah. Thank you, Grimace.
And thank you, Grimace. He's at every game now. It's great.
That's awesome.
There's someone dressed as Grimace. Grimace face paint, Grimace stomach paint.
I like it. As they should.
I think that we should make Grimace Mets merch. Not that would infringe on any copyright at all.
Grimace.
Grimace, sponsored by Mr. Joystick.
Nice.
We sponsored the baseball team.
Yep.
Just got a Mets jersey. It was on sale.
Oof.
Yeah, those things are expensive. I was like, shit.
Like with a player name?
Yeah, they're like 130. I got DeGrom.
Okay. Is he not on the team anymore?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was on sale. That's probably why.
Hey, whatever. Fuck it. He was one of the good ones.
Yeah, I mean,
I still wear a Piazza jersey.
Best pitcher 2 years in a row.
Oh shit.
I wanted to bring up something that was very dramatic.
Yeah.
It's been a dramatic week on the internet, specifically in the Twitch sphere. Some stuff got leaked surrounding who I would say before this was considered to be on the streamer Mount Rushmore.
Right.
And that, of course, is Dr. Disrespect. I mean, the name says it all right there. The guy doesn't give a fuck about anything. But long story short, or short story long, I don't remember how many years it was ago, like 3-4 years ago, Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch, and nobody knew anything. Like, no one said a thing. His group didn't say anything. Twitch didn't say anything. It was this big mystery. Shortly after, he got a partnership with YouTube, and ever since, he's been streaming full-time on YouTube, right? Obviously, it was this thing that everyone looked at and went, weird, okay, but not too much to the point where, like, people stopped watching Doc or his numbers went down, if anything. I don't have the specifics, but I'd argue maybe his numbers went up since then. Regardless, a former Twitch employee leaked that a large name streamer who used to stream on Twitch that was permanently banned was banned for messaging a minor on Twitch Whispers, which was basically Twitch's old kind of DM service where people could direct message each other, right? It was hinted that it was Doc because, to be fair, he's pretty much like the only streamer of that capacity that was permanently banned from Twitch. And then, he came out with a statement that was something along the lines of, like, don't believe everything you hear, just like this, that, and the third. A bunch of people came out and defended him. And then before he said anything, he ended up getting dropped by a video game studio that he co-founded. They decided to part ways with him. Then the San Francisco 49ers decided to part ways with him. And then after that, he finally made a public message on Twitter where he admitted that he did message a minor, and that was the reason for his banning on Twitch. However, he basically did the whole creepy shit where he was like, we didn't meet up in person, and there were no pictures, and blah, 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 blah. And it got inappropriate at times, and I apologize for that. But he basically said that he's like not going anywhere. Like, he's going to continue streaming. He's going to be doing his thing after a short break, blah, blah, blah. And it's like this weird thing where, like, there were a lot of streamers who I kind of liked who, when this shit dropped, they were like, don't believe anything you hear. Doc is a good guy, blah, blah, blah. And then this shit happens, and they're like, I didn't know, fucking, he's not my friend anymore.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? But, like,
yeah.
And I could go on a whole tangent, but the one person that's not Doc that I did want to bring up that's also kind of, intertwined with this whole shit is Nick Merckx. For those of you who don't know Nick, he's also a very, very popular streamer. He pulls very big numbers, sponsored by FaZe, streams on both Twitch and Kick. Was recently banned from Twitch, not permanently, temporarily, because he decided to use the word tranny. which is not allowed to be used on Twitch. You can say it on YouTube, and I said it in an educational sense. So fight me on that one.
Remember that, guys.
Anyway, I'm gonna put up the whole the whole fucking the whatchamacallit, the fine print right here in the contract. But regardless, yes, he used that derogatory word. But it was funny because like when I said that in the chat, I think Joey was the one who said something in response of like, man, this guy really can't get a break. Because first, if you don't know, like a year ago, he said some shit about leaving the little kids alone, and that was in accordance with like a similar topic with I think it was a group of like Proud Boys that were invading a group of, I want to say, drag queens who were reading to kids at a library, and then getting into a fight. And then Nick Merckx in response made a tweet that was like, leave the little kids alone. Which back then, I was like, he didn't say anything crazy. He's like, leave the kids out of it, right? Like, you let them do their thing, and if you want to argue about it, argue it away from the kids, right? Sure, fair. This time around, he straight up like said some super fucked up shit about transsexual people. And then I think in his tweet that was like replying to the Twitch ban, he was like, I got fucking banned for saying this. Next time I'll make sure I use mental illness instead. So I was like, okay, Nick is far gone. Like, there's no saving Nick. And I say this as someone who used to be a very, very big fan of Nick Merckx. It's tough, man. It's tough, but I think Florida changed the man, I mean,
even when it had last time, I remember I was like, he didn't say anything bad, but I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt at all. I mean, everyone know, like, that's his whole thing. I feel like when people, like a lot of people do this, and it's just, I mean, what we're talking about, because, especially when it's someone who has that views with a platform, is always like underhand comments. You know what I mean? It's never like them directly saying it. It'll be like, oh, I'll do this next time. And it's like, what the okay.
Yeah. But yeah, shout outs to the crazy Twitch drama that's been happening. And I think to end it off, one of my favorite responses out of all of it was actually Shroud's. Shroud was doing like a card unpacking or whatever. And somebody asked him like why he decided to ghost Doc like years ago. And he's like, I just use my common sense. You don't just get perma-banned from Twitch for doing nothing. And I was like, and that's why he's so fucking smart. Like, it makes sense. But fuck Doc, fuck Nick. And fuck streaming, honestly, man. Toxic ass culture. Fucking kids. Watch the Joystick Show.
Yeah, come on, chat.
We'll steer you in the right direction. All right. We know Kim Jong-un.
Right. It's no longer poggers, man.
We're friends with dictators.
Yeah.
And evil people.
Yep. Osama Bin Laden.
Osama Bin Laden. And his brother Saddam Hussein. Literally his name. Yep. Did you read the blurb that I put in the chat that they wanted to name their third kid George Bush? It was a girl, and they were like, okay, fuck it.
Georgia Bush.
They should have just gone with it, right?
Yeah, of course.
But anyway, there's something else I want to talk about, right? So as you guys can see, there's a missing piece here to this podcast, and it's in the form of a giant flesh bag named Joseph Ortega, who happens to be on the other side of the country right now.
Not really, but...
Well, you know what I mean. Not horizontally speaking, vertically speaking.
Yes.
On this axis, not this one. Okay. What I'm saying is Joey's currently in Florida doing his Florida thing, which I'll get to in a second. And Joey's gonna be back for episode 200, which we'll also get to in a bit.
Wait. Does Joey get a montage?
Like of him in Florida?
Yeah.
No. This is not. This is the opposite.
I mean, firstly, it'd be a very sad montage at the same time.
Which I am getting to right now.
I kind of.
And Joey's going to be here for episode 200, and so he'll be able to talk about his trip to Florida, what he did, what he saw, the things he experienced. But I just wanted to talk about the person that Joey becomes when he's in Florida. Because I think we can all agree it is not the same Joey.
No,
it is.
It's bored Joey.
I don't even know how to describe. That's a good way to put it, but it's nicer than it's. Yeah. That's a nice way to put it. It's like obsessive compulsive brain rot Joey. Yeah. Like I don't like it's like
so like fucking Dylan mentioned it either in the last episode or the episode before, but made like a joke about how when Joey goes to Florida, he like hangs out with his goon cousins and like fucking, like does Florida hood rat shit, right? Mm-hmm. Which was at first how I thought it, right? So that's just how I pictured it. And then like the day after, this Joey popped out, and I was like, "That's right, this is who he is."
Yeah. And I remember even Bobby, you sent me a message about Joey, and it was just kind of like in the simplest terms, like, "Oh yes, he doesn't go do hood rat stuff."
Yeah. But fucking, long story short, I just wanted to mention, yeah, like Jerry said, Joey just goes to Florida and becomes the most bored person I think I've ever known in my entire life. Like,
he's doing things I didn't even know existed.
Bro, the other day,
that's how bored he is.
The other day he was posting like extra large emojis in the chat that he like found out how to make.
Oh yeah.
And this was at like 7 a.m, and we're like, Joey, like, you know, he's like, yeah, I just found out how to do this. Check it out, you can do it too. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Like this is, but like the thing is, it's like we're waking up to that, Joey. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Like, I'm going to work.
I
I'm
just
like,
pictured Joey getting up at like fucking way too early in the morning, and then just going and practicing ollies in the hot sun, and that's just like, you know. In fact, think you'll pick up?
It's going out.
We'll give it a shot.
I like this a lot.
We'll give it a shot.
I like this a
see.
lot. This is a good idea. Paging and professional.
Yeah.
Yo, are you busy?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're on the podcast and we're just talking about you.
I could say something. What's up?
We're just talking. Are you on speaker?
No.
Oh, we were just talking about how you go to Florida and then just get really bored. You know what I mean? Because you get really bored out there.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to like figure out what a day of Joey in Florida is like. And I said that it starts with like you ollieing in the hot sun and then just like dying.
Kinda.
So could you just give like a quick 30-second rundown of what it's like?
All right. I start off my day. I wake up. I brush my teeth, and while it's still early,
Yep.
I go and I try to practice some skateboarding tricks outside.
Yeah, okay. Nailed that.
I get really, really hot.
Yep.
And I drink water, and then I go back inside. Once I'm inside, I go on YouTube.
Okay.
I kind of look. I do a lot of shopping out of boredom.
Okay.
I like this.
What'd you get recently?
So-
Anything interesting?
I bought 4 Funko Pops.
Okay, fine. Cool.
I bought 4 Funko Pops, and I've been buying games on the PlayStation Store, even though I'm like.
Even though you're not
my
there to
console.
play. Yep.
Yep. I got on Duolingo a few times.
Oh, learning a new language.
Yeah, and then I'm taking a 5-hour DMV course.
So what I'm getting, Joey, is that you're doing a bunch of shit that you can't even do. You're just like, you're learning to drive without a car, and you're buying games you can't play, right? Okay, cool. Well, we can't wait to have you back. We miss you a bunch. And who do you think won the debate last night? Oh, I guess you can't answer. Thanks, Joey.
That's perfect.
Oh, man. So I didn't even have to fucking guess. For what it's worth, I nailed that.
I
shit. Nailed that.
I wanted
first
you to
time.
keep guessing. You would have probably gotten most
you know
of
what's
those
crazy? I was
things.
gonna say he probably just goes on YouTube for the rest of the day, but I didn't know the shopping part.
I haven't started at brushing your
teeth. So can I just say, to end, if we can end this, firstly, I would like to say we miss you, Joey.
Oh, absolutely.
Please come back. We like the normal Joey that's here. But secondly, how is that the most adult but child thing to do ever? Like, he's like, I woke up at 6 a.m. I'm doing DMV. I'm learning how to drive. But he also is like doing a bunch.
Ollieing.
And I watch YouTube on my phone. Like, it's like so like it's adult but also like 5-year-old. It's like amazing.
I'm trying to kickflip. Oh fuck, dude, that's great.
It's amazing.
So
Perfect
funny.
balance.
Yeah, it is. It's like a balanced diet of being a kid but also an adult.
Forgot this light. Hold on, I got this.
Where's it coming from?
Fuck, is it even the right way? No. There we go. Boom. Light. All right, cool. Forgot about that one. I had another thing that I wanted to say. I just have to refer to the list because I don't remember anything. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Checking it twice.
I want to talk about a movie I saw.
Checking it twice.
I'm watching a bunch of movies, but if you've noticed, I haven't talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to ease up on the movies, take it a little bit slow. But there's a movie that I showed Mildred. We do this thing where I show her a movie, she shows me a movie, and then we rank them, right? Interestingly enough, I showed her the movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, the action one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And she gave it a 10 out of 10. I was like, wow, I was not.
I gotta watch that. I haven't watched it.
She fucking. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's a really good movie. So she liked it a lot. Was not expecting her to give it a 10 out of 10 for what it is, but I was like, yeah, I like it a lot too. I'll give it a 10 too. And then she showed me Rush Hour. Believe it or not, I hadn't seen the first Rush Hour.
Bobby.
I know, right?
Bobby.
That's a 9 out of 10 right
Bobby.
there.
That's like the good. That's like the best one. It's so good.
I'm holding hope that because she's basically telling me that Rush Hour 2 is not as good as 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen Rush Hour 3 in theaters. But that was the last time I saw it.
Rush Hour 3 was good.
So I want to
Rush Hour 3 had like Mission Impossible vibes. It was like really
in
good.
Paris now.
Yeah.
But fucking, that's not the movie, nor the movies I want to talk about. The movie I wanted to talk about is one that I showed Mildred, and one that I also hadn't seen since it like came out. Like I think I saw it the year after it came out, which would have been 2009, and that is Tropic Thunder.
Oh.
First off, have you seen Tropic Thunder?
I have not seen it in a very long time.
Which I was expecting. Have you seen it at all?
Nope.
This does not shock me.
Yes, I have not watched this movie in a very long time.
So Tropic Thunder, there's like a lot of reasons I want to talk about it. For what it's worth, it's one of those movies that has a lot of things you could talk about, right? But the main reason I wanted to show it to Mildred is because, in my opinion and in many other people's opinions, I look at Tropic Thunder as being one of the best satire films ever made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it satirizes so many things in terms of war films, filmmaking itself, acting, like
pop culture.
Exactly. Like it all gets so played with in a great way. Mm-hmm. But for those reasons and so many more, I wanted to show it to Mildred to kind of get her perspective on it, both as a normal watcher and also as a fellow filmmaker, since I could kind of scratch that side of her brain as well. And what I will say is, after rewatching that movie and having in shit, how long has it been? Fucking 14 plus 2, 16 years. Mm-hmm. First of all, the movie is still hilarious, still holds up. The jokes are arguably even funnier now with shit that's happened since, right? But the one thing that I definitely wanted to talk to Mildred about and was curious about, what you guys thought, was Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal in blackface.
That's kind of why I want to watch it. Like people talk about it like it's like he gets like a pass.
Kind of,
like it's critically acclaimed. Like he does it that good. He does it so good that he's allowed to do it, and I need to watch that.
And that's what I wanted to bring up, low-key.
Because it's like layers to it, right? It's like he's a character playing someone else.
So
like
he's playing an actor named Kirk Lazarus, who is an Australian actor and is kind of like a parody of sort of like Heath Ledger. Okay. Kind of actor who takes his roles very, very seriously, but from Australia, blonde, blue eyes type of thing, right? So he's played a bunch of roles, and basically there's 5 actors in the movie. Well, like, because the movie's about a movie being made, so there's 5 actors in the fake movie, right? 3 of them are like the big ones, and it's Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. Mm-hmm. And they're all supposed to be like 3 different types of
I didn't even know Jack Black was in his movie.
Exactly. I forgot, I'm not gonna lie. So Ben Stiller is like the action movie star. He's done like 6 entries of this dumb like Terminator-esque series, but his whole thing is he can't break out of it, right? Jack Black is like the comedy actor. He just makes like a bunch of like fart stupid movies. And then Kirk Lazarus, Robert Downey Jr. is the serious actor who wins like 5 Oscars and all that shit. So him coming into the role is he's like taking it super seriously. So he went through like this whole skin augmentation to make him way darker and all this stuff. And he has like this crazy, very realistic black voice and all the mannerisms and stuff like that. But it's like I mentioned before, it's something that gets heavily talked about, especially since the movies come out. And even so, like even then, like especially in recency, where like stuff like that is not okay to do, and people have been more vocal about it. People go back and watch it, and they're like, so maybe the context plays an important role, right? But long story short, I was talking to Mildred about it, and Mildred brought up a good point, and I think this is the right way to look at it. You definitely have to look at the context of what you're doing, right? And you also have to. Even more important than the context is how it's presented, the presentation, right? It's one thing to come up and then do a caricature of what you perceive a black person to look like or be like, right? But it's another thing to kind of like base the character on like, a black person that you could see it being, right? Yeah. So that's kind of the route he decided to do. And for that reason, a lot of people credit him with, I guess the right way to say it is having a respectful take on doing the role, right? And then adding in the other layer, like you mentioned, of the fact that he's a fake actor and that there's this whole other thing where like he's there's like a psychological component where he's trapped in his former roles and he can't get out of them, so he doesn't even know how to get through it. And another thing that kind of helps the movie is another one of the actors, Brandon T. Jackson, who plays Al Pacino, who's like a rapper in the movie. He's black. so he has like this whole other character to play off where like he has to deal with the actions like directly affecting one of his cast members, right? Where, you know, Brandon T. Jackson's character is like, you're not even black, man. Like, and he's like, I am, you know what I mean? And they're like, we're not even acting right. Like, we can't stop. I can't. I'm stuck in the role. But long story short, the role is fantastic. He handles it with such grace, I will say. Then I went and immediately showed Mildred like all the Joe Rogan clips of like Robert Downey Jr. talking about it, Jamie Foxx talking about it, Joe Rogan himself talking about it, and she gave it a 9 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
And that being said, I have to give Tropic Thunder a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's that good of a movie.
I have to fucking rewatch this shit.
And after watching it, I will say this: no matter what your interpretation of the movie is, or more specifically, what Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal is, it is very hard to watch that role and be like, this guy's not going to win an Oscar. Like, that's how good he is in the role. Like, obviously, he wasn't fucking winning an Oscar for that, but
down the line,
he was definitely going to get one, and he did for Oppenheimer. Oh, one last thing to mention that is pretty interesting about that. Does this movie right after Iron Man?
After Iron Man? I thought it was way before Iron Man.
Directly after.
No.
I thought it was like 10 years
I think
before.
it's
Iron Man?
It's literally 0808, right?
Yeah,
It's-
same here.
it's-
Does Iron Man and then does Tropic Thunder. How risky is that?
Right?
You imagine how different the timeline would have been if that movie just didn't hit the way
I mean,
it
I
did?
think it's just maybe...
that's wow. He's like,
So was
that's
he-
a
was he, like,
controversy and a
recording-
half.
Did they come out like at the same time, or was it like he recorded one, it came out, and then he recorded another? Like,
I believe.
I'm trying to think if like maybe he was like, all right, Iron Man's just gonna, you know, it's like whatever.
No, I know that in terms of release, they came out, I want to say the same year, and Tropic Thunder came after Iron Man. But as far as like the production, I don't know. But now I'm curious. Also, to kind of talk about this while I'm looking this up, Mildred brought up another good point about timing and like, you know, when the movie came out, what was more appropriate and what was not. And then in watching one of Robert Downey Jr.'s interviews about it, he talked about how since that was sort of like the Obama administration, things were a little bit less hectic and a little less pressurized in that regards, right? Like it'd be a lot harder to do that during the Trump presidency.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But production, let me see, filming. When did filming begin for Tropic Thunder? Filming began it was scouted in 2004. July 2007. So what about Iron Man 1? I would guess before, especially since it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I wonder if he's ever like spoken about it. Like,
Oh, that is the character Iron Man. I'm looking for the movie.
I mean, he was a risky dude back then, so
He was a what?
risk taker kind of dude.
No, for sure. Filming. This is what I'm curious about. And March 12th, 2007. So filming, it was the same exact year. It was like literally months before Tropic Thunder started filming. March to July.
Sheesh.
So that's literally how fucking close those were. How crazy would it have been if like Robert Downey Jr. got stuck in the roles? So when he went back to like Iron Man 2, he's like, I built the arc reactor.
Terrence Howard's like, you're not black, I'm black. And Terrence's like, no.
Don Cheadle is like, Tony, you can't do that. No, man, I made a new element.
Don Cheadle's actually with the British accent from Ocean's 11.
Yeah, and he's Basher.
Yeah, it's like,
Tony, my man.
Tony, what the fuck?
Tony, what the fuck? How funny that he's regarded as having like one of the worst accents in all of movies. Yeah. Oh, fuck. But yeah, shout outs. Great actors, both of them.
Man.
Fucking, what time is it? Fucking time to get a watch, Dylan. You got anything you want to say, pal?
I already said what I wanted to say. Fuck that one person who told us that we couldn't get pastrami at the Mets.
Fuck that
Pastrami at
You got
the
anything
Mets.
you want to say, Jerry?
No, I just had a fucking long ass week, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll have something next week.
I feel you, bro.
200 actually. I'll probably have something.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And what I will say before we hop off, or rather before we get into Jam and Yams, hold up, I'm pulling it up right now. I want to go over.
I'll pull
I want to go over to episode 196 of the Joystick Show. Which, first off, I want to thank you, lovelies, for watching because we hit a very large number for that, 71 views, and counting,
Nice.
which is big for us. But we got a real special comment from a woman named Patricia Riley, who said, I'm an 81-year-old woman who watches cat videos and political commentary on YouTube. I don't know why the algorithm sent me your show, but it was a pleasure spending time with such fine young men. I want to be your granny. Shout outs to Patrish.
Aw,
One of the
thanks, Trish.
nicest comments I think we've ever
I
had
really
on
hope
this
this
channel.
isn't a fucking catfish. 'Cause that's really nice.
Honestly, it
that's
could
really
be.
nice.
I'm way too fucking like, you can't get my ass, so you.
All right,
could
thanks,
be.
Frank.
You know what I mean? But whoever you are, at least it was nice. You know what I mean?
That's so sweet.
And if you're real, Patrish, we love you. We appreciate you. That was real special. And I think the guys can attest that has to be one of the nicer comments we've ever gotten on the.
That is. Channel. Normally it's like spam shit.
Yeah,
or like
one of the main 4 people who watch the channel. Which we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. But fucking, that was real cool.
And Jose's sister, who agreed with me that soup is great.
Soup. I've come around. Anyway, it is time for Jam, Yam, Bam, and Slam of the Week. Where we give out our music recommendations so that you guys at home can listen to what we have been listening to too.
Yo, I'm about to pull a Bobby.
Woo!
I'm gonna give a special shout outs, but it's not gonna be the song.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's a song called "Angels" by MF Doom and Ghostface Killah.
Okay.
So I found out it has an anime sample. I don't know what the anime is actually. I've never seen it, but it sounds like an anime sample.
Cool.
Yeah, and what was the actual song I was gonna pick?
Sounds like Jerry really liked that one.
I was listening to it on the way here. It was "Life We Live" by Project Pat.
Okay.
Yeah, it just came. I was gonna pick something else, and I was like, "This song is kind of fire. I'm gonna pick this one."
Cool. Project Pat.
Nice. So I'd like to give no, I'm not going to give a shout out. Actually, I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to one-up you guys. Give a shout out to many albums that came out. So shout outs to The Story So Far, Suicide Boys, all of bands that have been my number 1 listens in the past, dropping mid-albums the same week. But they're fine. No worries about that. My phone locked. Fuck.
A lot of June albums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Summer. People want that summer album. Yeah. I'm going to give my Yam of the Week to a band me and Joey like, and that's Hot Mulligan, with the song "And Eric Sparrow and the Life of Him."
Wow.
Really nice song. Cool. Very pleasant. Except when they scream. When they scream, they go, yeah. But when they sing nicely.
Isn't Eric Sparrow is that a Tony Hawk character?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious now. Because like in my head, I'm like, oh no, hold on. That's a person.
A lot of their titles are like puns or references to like early 2000s shit. You know, very much.
Oh, no, sorry. It's Eric Sparrow. Sorry, not Tony Sparrow. I got close, though. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Jack Sparrow.
My jam of the week is going to go to, I'm actually not going to do the shout-outs. I'm just going to pick one and call it A Day. But it's going to go to Day Dreamin' by Vacations. Just a fun song. Dylan found out he has it on the Yams as well. Mm-hmm. And it's got a fun little chorus. So shout-outs to that band. All right. Cool. Before we shut it down here for episode 199, our last episode in the 100s.
You guys actually aren't getting thanked for liking and subscribing.
No, that's coming. That's coming.
Guys.
Yeah, don't worry. We do want to put out a bit of a disclaimer, and that is for the first time in the history of this podcast, we're giving you a warning that next week there will not be an episode of the Joystick Show. Next Wednesday, if we're able to, there will be a different video. We'll still put something out. We're not lazy, right? However, we do want to give Joey some time to get back from Florida so that we can put full effort and attention and focus into episode 200. Really make it something special. Put all of the stuff that we've wanted to kind of put into fruition and make it as good as we can. And it's going to be a good time. So long story short, no podcast next week, but might be another video in its place. And then the week after that, episode 200. So stay tuned. I don't know what date that is, but it's right there. I'm not good with that stuff, but there's the date.
Go for it.
Get ready for it.
Look
It'll
at
be
it.
Good. All 4 of us will be here. We'll be talking some stuff, sharing some stories.
Something special.
Perhaps a segment. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far, but it'll be fun.
Special.
Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate you. See, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Thanks for watching the Joystick Show. You guys are super, super rad. That's what I want to say. Shout out to my girlfriend Mildred who said rats the other day. Never heard anyone say that. Yeah, literally just like that. She was like, rats. I was like, are you from the fucking 40s? Like, I'd never heard that before.
I feel like women are just a lot of times more innocent than we give them credit
probably,
for.
but
like my girlfriend let out like a dang nabbit or some shit.
Yeah,
like
that's what I made fun of her with. I was like, are you gonna throw out a dag nabbit next? But fucking shout outs, bro. I definitely want to revive that word.
Shucks.
But thanks for watching. We very much appreciate you. Stay tuned for 2 weeks when we come back with a brand new episode of what might even be a brand new show, so to speak. And if you are in the Florida area, do us a favor and find Joey and do anything with the lad. Literally, fucking take him alligator wrestling.
Take him to the Lego. Take him to Lego universe.
Take him to Legoland. He'll fucking have a ball.
Crayola experience.
Look out for the guy. All right.
Laser tag.